Ladies and gentlemen, first allow me to thank you, the organizers, especially the Open Society Foundation, and all the participants for making this important conference possible. The earliest records of Roma in Sweden are from year 1512. Almost from the same date, you can find the documents witnessing of discrimination and persecution. In the 17th century, there was a government edict to execute all male Roma and expel women and children. Hundreds of Swedish Roma were victims of forced sterilization as late as the mid-20th century. They were denied housing, they were forced to move frequently. The children were not allowed to attend schools. A life in tents and caravans led to disease and premature death. Discrimination and prejudice are still alive today, even though, of course, not in these forms. Despite this, there are many Romas who now have jobs and are well integrated in a Swedish society. But against Roma, there is often a sense of hopelessness. Many Roma might think that it's not worth an effort, since they see that Roma that have been educated themselves often still do not get a job. Why take the children to schools where they encounter bullying and teachers who don't have any expectation of them? As a response to this, many Roma had turned away from the rest of society. This is not just a Swedish history. You all know that Roma have fared ill all over Europe. Now it's time to our government to make amends, to give us support that always should have been here. This year, we took an important step forward when it comes to Roma inclusion. I'm thinking about the Commission communication of EU framework for national Roma integration strategies, as well as the important message from the EU heads of states and governments this summer. It is now vital that the political priority of Roma inclusion is not lost. We have to continue to move forward. I would like to thank the European Parliament for its important work to highlight the situation for Roma in Europe. Do not stop. Remind governments about their responsibilities, please. By December this year, all member states have committed themselves to present a strategy to the Commission to how to improve Roma inclusion. I would like to encourage all member states to do so. The Swedish government will do its part. Very soon we will present a communication to the Parliament. This communication will be based on a long-term effort for realizing the human rights of Roma in Sweden. Our vision is that in 20 years, the Roma child that is born today should have the same possibilities in life as a non-Roma. I would like just to highlight, and for a short time, 4 main elements of this long-term effort. Firstly, the combination is based on human rights, such as the right to education, right for work. Secondly, there will be financial support from the government for measures focusing on increasing the number of Roma who are educated and employed. Thirdly, to begin with, we concentrate action to a few municipalities. They are to take a holistic, coordinating and long-term approach to promote Roma inclusion in cooperation with the relevant authorities. After a few years, other municipalities will follow. Fourthly, there will be continuous follow-up on the progress made. As a parallel process, the government will elaborate a white paper on abuses and violations of Roma in Sweden during the last century. The white paper is to pay tribute to victims and their families and to create an understanding of the situation of Roma minority today. We believe the white paper is an important part of improving Roma inclusion in Sweden. The work for Roma inclusion is first and foremost a matter of human rights, but it's also a question of economic growth. We cannot afford the persistent economic and social marginalization of Romas. And we should not let the financial crisis be an excuse for not doing anything. we have probably learned something from the dark parts of Europe history, and please, no more blame games. Thank you. Roma are Europeans in the true sense of the word. Roma live, travel their words, sometimes even across our borders. Therefore, to make a real difference for Roma, all stakeholders must work together. Cooperation and coordination is vital. Member states have the responsibility. The Commission needs to put pressure on Member States to present and realise national strategies, as well as to establish a system for monitoring and follow-up. Other stakeholders like the European Parliament, World Bank, Council of Europe, the Open Society Foundation, NGOs are very important and make a vital contribution to Member States in their efforts to improve Roma inclusion. But all these actors, even if acting together, they only can even feel the playing field. Real change can only happen in the minds of you, individuals. Non-Roma must get rid of their prejudice. The states can help by education and anti-discrimination campaigns. But in the end, it is people themselves who have to revise their beliefs and strive to treat Roma as fellow human beings. Furthermore, Roma needs to find ways to merge their culture with the society today, to dare to hope and invest in future. It must be obvious to Roma, as to the others, that children should go to school, that girls should have the same rights and opportunities as boys, and the work is a key to integration. The history of Roma is history of Europe. Our challenges are challenges for all of Europe. So let us work together for real change. Thank you for listening.